Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back to my mega base. We have been doing some wrong button. We've been doing some very good work offline, actually, getting some stuff ready, and you can see that it's definitely made a difference. So 7,500 speed module 3s waiting for me after I wake up, and 4,000 productivity 3s. I don't know why they're not the same. They have always been the same, and they should continue to be the same. And I don't remember spending 2,500 of these last night. I think it was up by 400 productivity modules because I was spending a bit, but shouldn't have been up by that much. Yeah, in fact, productivity modules should be ahead. Maybe there's something because I put these down before I put these down, so maybe there's some sort of minuscule sort of. No, I don't think it works like that. I don't think it works on priority based on when you put stuff down. It spreads it out. Like if this one's 200 and this one's 200, this will get 1, and then this will get 1, and then this will get 1, and then this will get 1. So maybe it's got a slight advantage, but that should be enough for frigging 3,500 of these guys. But anyway, don't know how that happened, but it happened, so let's just deal with it. So we're going to go on here. I've actually been having a bit of problem with power so far. You can see that it's been alright for now, but while I was offline I had to increase my power a couple of times. If we have a look over here, it's actually down to a grid of 4. It's 2 by 2. I can't remember what it was last time I left it. I think I added one more on video, and then the next 2 I added off video because it was just really running low on power, really starting to pump the rest up. And as you can see, we're using 3 gigawatts naturally in this base, which is pretty freaking impressive. So yeah, the beacons 1.5 gigawatts, the assembly machines almost 600, the smelters 300, miners 150, even the refineries 86 megawatts. That's quite a bit. So yes, we're really pushing it out. So let me go ahead and show you all of the stuff that I've been doing so far. So probably the main thing is at green circuits. I'll show you copper and all that stuff really quickly. So I can't remember if I did this in video. I think I did, but yeah, I've definitely filled in all the modules for these guys anyway. They're all filled in. There's a bit down the bottom here actually. Not going to worry about that for the moment, but yeah, they're all filled in, and iron I did as well, iron plate. So that's all filled in, and these stations actually haven't been used in a while, and I'll explain in a sec. Need to do this properly, but not worrying about it at the moment. So green circuits, I went ahead and I started mining these bits over here. So you can see this copper mine and this iron mine. I got both of those set up. Oh, there's a little bit of iron there as well. Didn't even notice that. Maybe I can do something about that. Maybe I won't even bother. So anyway, so what I did was I got this guy running, and then I got a whole smelting array going. And because this is local copper and local iron, and you don't have to go through the train network, I decided to tweak this a little bit because I ran into a particular problem. So right now I've got this wide open for all of these. So if you go over to the ones on the right hand side, they're completely full. And the reason I did this was because if you only have 100 in all of these, it adds up to a total of, I don't know what it adds up to a total of. Let's do a quick count. So 140 times 100, which is 14,000. Yeah. So that means at most, you can have 14,000 copper in that system off to the right, which is not really enough to stop trains from coming in, is the problem. Also, I changed this up to 96,000 and 64,000, so that's 4 trains, and that's 6 trains over here. So really want to keep the space full. But it turns out to be a non-issue because, yeah. So anyway, so 14,000 out of 96,000, so that's the most it could ever do. And then, of course, it would schedule a train because it's not high enough, and the train would come, it would unload the train into a storage warehouse, and the storage warehouse would get used before this guy. So what was happening was I'd get 2 or 3 trains coming in. This would be sitting around 50, 60,000, which is good, and these guys would absolutely not be used, and they just back up. And yeah, so that's what was happening. I couldn't figure out a good way of doing it. I could have changed these to storage, but then that only sort of puts them on even footing. I could have changed these to be actives over here, and then the bots, but then the bots would have been doing a lot more work transferring all that stuff over to here. And the idea of transferring the copper from there over to there continuously and then up to there just seems like a really bad idea. I know we do it for trains, but trains is a fairly short distance, and we only do it when there's a train there, so it's not a continuous load on our bot system, whereas this would be a continuous load on our bot system. So yeah, I'd prefer not to jump from there to there. So instead we just decided to create these guys to be big enough so that they could eventually get higher than this 96,000. And then what would happen is we would continue to suck this dry, and once it gets low enough, we would start ordering trains. Now, last night, I did get to the point where this was running full-on iron over here, and we were still ordering trains. That seems to have calmed down a bit now, mainly because I think green circuits are being used a little bit less. We seem to have reduced our reliance on green circuits, which is interesting. I've also got a note here, divide by 4. I'm not sure if that's going to work anymore. I thought that was going to work, but I was going to put logistic stations for all 4 of these and then divide things by 4. Just like -16 and then 4. It's stupid. Actually, it's stupid. It doesn't... The problem with having 4 stations is that they're all dealing with the same information. So they're all going to hire trains at the same time. The only thing I can think of doing is having them be the same, except this would be, instead of this being -64, this would be -60. So this would be -64, this one would be -60, this one would be -56, and this one would be -52, or something like that. And then they would phase get trains, or something like that. And maybe that would be good, because that means if you're using iron really slowly, only a little bit, you would only hire 1 train. And if you're using it really fast, you would hire 4 trains. That's the thing I don't want to do. I don't want to be missing only 16k and schedule 4 trains, because that's just overkill. In the end, it would work out, because it would offload all of that iron, and then you're still getting the same amount of trains over a long period of time, but it's just, yeah, I don't want to overload the iron station for no good reason. I don't want this to suddenly have 4 trains showing up when we only really need 1, and if we need other stuff for iron, which we probably will, they'll all get blocked up, and they'll all get waiting queues, and it'll slow down the whole system. So I don't want to do that. So I think that's probably what I will do, like the 64-56 sort of solution. But it's not necessary at the moment. But it's nice to know that we got that working. What else have I been doing? I went over to red circuits. Upgraded this. I think I may have added a 3rd bit as well and put a whole bunch of speed and productivity modules in here. So this guy is running really fast now. You can see there's 33 backed up, which is really nice. And blue circuits, which has been my bane for some time. I changed this to 128, so that's 4 train loads instead of 2, because we really need the green circuits to make blue circuits. And this is actually the slow point, I think, for this base. It's going alright now, but I really think this is the slow point. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be upgrading some of these blue circuits. We're going to be putting some speed modules in here. Speed modules and productivity modules. Oh, that's a lot. So, thank God there's no chest in the middle, so I don't have to worry about overriding stuff like I did with bloody green circuits. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Autosave. And then we'll put a row of Mr. Speed modules. Now, the uploading of sulfur, I think we've talked about that. I think that we've said it's pretty freaking fast, and it's fast enough. Like, one of these machines is fast enough for like all of these machines. It's pretty damn fast. Ooh, got some backups actually. This is nice, but obviously, I don't know if it's going to last when we actually start really kicking the system in the ass. So, okay. Let's go across to Mr. Green Circuits. And let's get a blueprint. Is that enough? It might be too much. Yeah, that's way too much. Okay, so we get that a little bit off center, and then we destroy all of those. If you line them up exactly with these guys, then each one gets 3. So, but if you off center them a bit, then each one gets 4. I'm pretty sure they all get 4. You can see 8. It's including the modules that it's got inside it. So yeah, that's definitely. So we put that out like that. The reason I put that out so far is because now we can extend this line if we want to, and the power pole will fit into that. Okay. Ah, bloody woods. Bloody woods. Okay. And there we go. So we'll put all these speed beacons down. Oh, what? You don't got no power either. They do join up. Okay. Let's rearrange this a little bit. So we got power for all those modules. Ah, no, still can't do that. Okay. Yes, I don't actually know what the next step is for this base, because we got base 1.5 working, and it's producing speed modules as fast as you could expect, I guess. I'd love it to be faster, but it's unrealistic for it to be faster. And I mean, it's going pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's, as I said, it's as good as can be expected. So we're just going to say that's good enough, and it probably will be good enough. I mean, if I leave it running offline, it'll definitely be good enough. Bloody rocks. So the next step is going to be, I mean, well, there's just science left. There's just finishing off base 2.0, I guess, because this is base 1.5, and this whole thing is base 2.0. So we're just going to finish it off. Little delay while the speed modules, the bots figure out they actually got to put speed modules on these guys. And there we go. Job done. So, that's some good speed modules on there. I think that should be enough for now to keep us in the blue circuits. We got a 3. That's fine. Let's go over to red circuits. And let's finish off these guys. Get the speed modules for all these guys finished off so we can say this base is done. Then I think we'll go over to plastic, finish that off, and then go to green circuits and finish that off. Okay, you're good. You're good. No, you're not good. We're all the way up here. Let's get this done. Ah, yeah. See that this is 59k buffered, pretty much, or it would be a little bit more, but that's enough to fill up 2 train loads, which which is a buffer amount that I am very comfortable with. Plastic. Let's go with plastic. I've got most of these, but I haven't got some of these guys here, so. Well, I'm not sure how necessary filling up all these guys is, but we'll do it anyway. It has to be done, and I feel like I got enough speed modules to fill this up and then go over to green circuits and fill them up as well. Beacons. I might be out of beacons. That's alright. The beacon production has been phenomenal in this base. It's just like amazing how many beacons it seems to produce. It's just, yes, very, very awesome. Come on, guys. If I run around, will you fill stuff in? Yes, apparently you will. Okay, that's a bit of overkill. Come on, productivity modules. Getting the productivity modules in plastic actually is probably a really good thing. Probably a really good thing. Yeah, look at that. Look at that productivity module pushing them out. That's beautiful. And we got that done. Excellent. Oh, I'm missing something down here. Go on. Get in there. We probably could cut off this heavy cracking at this point because we don't need it anymore now that we've actually filled in the modules. But watch for trains, watch for trains. Okay, now we just fill this last bit in, which is just, yeah, just productivity. I must have done speed at some point for these guys already. So that's good. That's plastic. Could go to sulfuric acid, but meh, don't really need to. Absolutely have no need. Whoa. Oh, steel. Steel is complaining. Steel I don't care about. Sulfuric acid is totally backed up. So what is missing stuff? Iron is fine. Copper is missing a little bit. Green circuits is missing a lot. Let's go fill in green circuits, because green circuits is kind of the base. Like, in terms of base 2.0, it is pretty much the base. It is the thing that everything else needs, pretty much. It's everything else is just backed up behind green circuits. I hope I have enough, guys. Enough of these speed module 3s to fill this guy in, because that would be awesome. And then I think I can just sort of, yeah, I think I've got enough. I think I should have enough. Let's go over there. Oh, this is missing a lot. I should have enough, and then I can go over to copper and fill in whatever that guy's missing. And then I'm pretty much done. I mean, we got stuff like steel missing, and we got stuff like sulfuric acid missing. And I'll fill those in as time goes on, when I get, you know, a little bit more, just with speed modules just being a common commodity, where I've just got crap loads of them. But yeah, for now, not going to worry about it. And yes, beforehand, we actually did have situations where, is it what? I want to see stuff that's actually building. Over here, actually building. So before we had a situation where this wasn't running fast enough for this to actually get all of its components. And now we have successfully fixed that problem, because the productivity modules and the speed modules allow this to run fast enough so that it actually produces 3 every time this needs it. And it's mainly due to the productivity module, because this is plus 40%. Now, it would have to be plus 50% technically to be enough, but plus 40% is just enough. It's just enough to get this guy its copper cables that it needs. And if I remember from my mega base, it's the problem with this many speed modules and this many productivity modules is actually the throughput of the stack inserters. The stack inserters simply aren't fast enough. I did look at, say, putting speed modules in here instead of productivity, and yeah, it was a stack inserter problem. But anyway, we want productivity modules because then we can get a lot more usage out of our iron and out of our coal. And there we go. More than double that and more than 4 times that. So that is basically beautiful. And we're going to leave that now. Go to copper. Fill in this last little bit down here. All speed modules, of course. And I feel like we should finish off using these guys. So what's more important that we're missing? Is just steel and sulfuric acid. Well, sulfuric acid, definitely not that important. Steel will become very important at some point. So let's start filling that in. Let's get that over the hills and far away. Man, for some reason I remember having a huge smelting array somewhere and filling it in. I can't remember where it was. I could have sworn it was this base. Like a massive, massive smelting array. I swear to God, I can't remember where it is. It must have been this one. Yeah, I think it was this one. But I remember filling in modules on it. Or did I? Maybe I was just filling in inserters on it. Anyway, this one's done. Hello, you are done. That is awesome. Haven't needed much steel yet, but once we start getting the sciences going, then we will need it. So back to base 1.5. Getting another green circuit load. Almost to the point we need another blue circuit load. 30, 24, it's not using them very fast. 12. Yes, and the light goes yellow straight away, which is awesome. So you can take some of this stuff back. You can take some of this stuff back. There we go. So, actually, since we've been producing, we've gone up 2,500 since how did we go up 2,500? Like 2.8k, and that's including the ones I spent. We've gone up 2.8k. How is that even possible? Is it just way faster than I'm giving it credit for? 10 per minute. So we went up 2,500, and we're producing 15 per minute maybe. So if we say 12 per minute, and we've been running for 20 minutes, we need to look at the graph for this thing, because something is not making sense. So now it's going up to 32 per minute. Okay, maybe that's a bit more than 32 times 20 is, I don't know, 640. That's still not a lot. That's still not the 2,500 that somehow got in there. Something is very fishy here. We have a look at this guy. Yeah, no, I'll fucking get in there. It's been fairly normal, 12.5 average, not really any higher than that. It's been running pretty much full speed. I do not understand how we suddenly got 2,500 in there. Maybe I already had a bunch in my inventory, and I just didn't notice they were in there, and when I put them back, that would explain why there was that huge gap, and now there isn't that huge gap. Okay, I'm going to put it down to that. We had like 2,500 productivity modules in my inventory, and I just never noticed them, and that is going to be our story. Actually, it's probably 3,500, because that's what the gap was. Okay, so what do we do now? So what's the plan? So, currently, we might have to move some more stuff over to base 1.5. I'm not sure yet. These guys are kind of dying in the ass. Although this guy's almost full. 7 out of 7.5. This guy's 5.8. Because of the steel is crap. So I'm considering moving these solar panels over to base 1.5. Because all they need is circuits, copper, and steel. So we'd be able to move a lot of them. But I'm not going to do that until we get to the point where this production is actually outstripping, or our need for them is outstripping our production for them. Now it does steal a bit of steel off this guy, but this guy is full. This guy is fully backed up, the mall. So it's not too big of a problem. Leaving the game running offline does definitely seem to help that. So yeah, moving stuff over to base 1.5 I don't think is strictly necessary at the moment. So what else are we going to do? Look, we got so much of these guys. I am just going to go over and I'm just going to fill in sulfur. So we get rid of this big flashy thing. Just get rid of it completely. Now, well, basically our motto for this mega base is upgrade it when you need to upgrade it. Do a good job at the start and then upgrade it when you need to upgrade it. Now, we have sort of boned that a little bit with stuff like the iron base. The iron base is currently, the miners do not have speed modules on them, and they do not even have beacons in them. So that's kind of a bit boned, but I am going to upgrade that when I need to upgrade that. And yeah, basically leave it like that. Should I? Or should I just do it now? I got a whole bunch of speed modules in my inventory. I think I should probably just do it now. Just get it over and done with. And then, so at the 24 minutes, so I think that's pretty much what we're going to do. And then we can call this episode like tying up loose ends or something like that. So, destroy the rows without power poles. And then, yes, after that, we're going to go for rocket science, obviously. We need to go for rocket science at some point. Cannot insert iron ore. Player's inventory is full. Now you don't have a storage warehouse, do you? Well, you're going to get one. There you go. I really don't have a lot of space in my inventory. Probably because of all this freaking wood, man. The wood is really killing me. So, probably just copy and paste from down here, can't we? Well, it's impossible to put bloody beacons into productivity modules into beacons. So yeah. So this guy. So let's start off with the longest ones. So if I put that there, is this guy hitting 2 of them? Yes, he is. Excellent. It goes like that. Doesn't quite line up as nicely, but that's good enough for me. And of course, they're out of power on both sides, but that's fine. Bloody thing is always getting in the way. And we'll put some down here as well. Go away, powerful. Go on, guys. Am I out of beacons again? Must be out of beacons. Oh, God. Well, we're up to 1,000 again, so not having any problems at all building the damn things. It's just keeping them in our inventory, which is apparently a problem. Seems to be like that. Seems to be like that. And then, pretty sure we cut these guys off. Cut those guys off. Cut all these guys off. Give me back those speed modules. We got 2. Got somebody beeping me. Probably just an email. Yep. Bloody email from LinkedIn. I never should have joined LinkedIn. Okay. Out of room. Okay. That's fine. So we got a space over here. And we should chuck all of our wood in there. Oh, it's full now. Okay, well that's space anyway. So this guy, storage warehouse, you will get used eventually. Thing. We chucked away all that wood. So, well, a lot of wood. So we should have a decent enough space now to go. Actually, what I can do is I can start using the auto trash. Probably should have been using that before now, but anyway. I'm going to get rid of... No, these are the ones with the power poles. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it on that rule, getting rid of the ones with the power poles. Now, there are some logistics robots in here that should be emptying out all the iron ore for my inventory. As long as I stay in the orange section. Oh. No, that's alright. Or is it? Is this a power pole row? No, it's not. Is this stupid power pole up here that keeps confusing me? Oh, no, I messed this up. Okay, I got power poles in both rows. That's okay. I only need power poles in one row, so I'll just keep one row, not one row. I'm not saying that to be racist, but I'm sure somebody will take that as being racist. We must have skipped something here because you got power poles. You power poles should stretch. Alright, you guys should stretch. This guy doesn't have any. Somehow we got really messed up. Oh, you're not going to do anything, are you? You're going to be useless and lazy. Put this crap back in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Beacon time. Might need a longer set of beacons for this one. That's about right. So we move it across 2. So the one at the... Oh wait, does that work? We move it across 1, because I think if we... Whoa, we still got power poles in here. Alright, forget that for just a joke. Forget that for a second. Don't want power poles in here. I'm trying to figure out 1, 2. So if we put it here, this beacon on the right is going to be reaching this. So these are 3x3, so it completely surrounds itself with 3x3. I thought it was 2x2. So this one will be out of range. This one's bad, but this one makes it. Okay. I don't think we're going to need any longer rows. So if we move that across by 2, then we get beautiful, because this one will affect these guys, and this one will affect these guys. So it's absolutely beautiful. And like that, and then this one doesn't really matter, this one doesn't really matter. That one doesn't really matter. We'll clean those up later. You can move and go over here. Alrighty. This is starting to get tiring. And then like that, and like that, and then right. Autosave, damn you. Okay, and I think we're probably going to leave that there, and sort of leave this episode just as it is. You're only 1, so you go away. You are 2, just like I wanted you to be. That one, not good at all. 3, nope. Only 1, so you get chopped off. Ah, you get chopped off as well. And all you guys get chopped off. You definitely get chopped off. And we go through the middle and around. So yeah, I don't think we're going to do anything else this episode. I think this is just going to be finishing this off. All these guys should be lined up pretty well. I tried to line them up pretty well. And then next episode, it is going to be the long haul to rocket science. So, I mean, the last 5-6 episodes have been the long haul to base 1.5. And then the next 5 or 6 episodes, or maybe even more, will be the long haul to rocket science. And when I mean rocket science, I mean all 7 sciences. We need to make all 7 on the bus, on the main base 2.0. Now, I have been thinking about doing something funky, like making rocket science at here, which would be impossible because the steel would kill us, or doing something like making rocket science and shipping it down here, but I don't think I'm going to do any of that. I think we're just going to shoot straight for rocket science on base 2.0. Man, my cough is bad. But yeah, I really wanted to push for it because I really want to do stuff like faster robot speed and faster cargo size and mining productivity, because that would help us a bit now. Not necessarily in terms of UPS, because our UPS is okay, but yeah, I mean, look at this. I had to get 10,000 robots into this base. We're only using 8,500 right now. What the hell are we using them on? Filling this guy up. I guess this guy will continue to mine until hell freezes over. Which is fine. Absolutely fine. Eventually, these guys will both fill up. And then we will have an incredible amount of copper and iron to fill through. And I'm completely happy with those guys filling up, because their local storage. So as far as I'm concerned, if it's not a train coming in, it's not hooked up to the train network, bypassing the train network, then I don't care. It can go forever. Absolutely go forever. It's the train network stuff that I want to get really nailed down. Whoa, it's actually... Well, half of these aren't running, so that's why half of these aren't running, but I know definitely for iron before, when I was playing around with it. Look, some of these are still not running, actually. They're just not getting enough ore, so that will get fixed when we start getting mining productivity research. The mining productivity, you should see it once it gets to 100%. It's only 30%. Once it gets to 100, the purple bar starts flowing as fast as this, and then it gets to 200%, the purple bar goes twice as fast, and this will easily be filled up. But we could do this little smidge as well. You know what? Not going to worry about it, because that creates additional distance. You've got to go all the way from there, all the way over to here to smelt it. And I'm already not liking the distance that these guys go over to here. So that may be something we do in the future. Move this stuff closer. Or like in here somewhere to reduce the total flying distance. And the same thing with copper as well. Just move this a bit closer. Because when it comes down to it, less distance means less bots and all good. So where are you going? Red circuits apparently need some more. Yes, just go to... It needs everything, actually. Why does it need everything? We must have recently done a shipment over to somewhere. Yes, we just did. Looks like we just did a shipment of red circuits over to here. Must have been running low. Anyway, let's put these guys back where we found them. And speed modules. And I'm feeling happy with just having that storehouse size the same it is, because when we build a new base, we're never going to need more than 7,500 of anything at all. What's this complaining about? I missed some stuff. Right down the bottom of sulfur. Okay, we got sulfuric acid. We got to fill this last little bit in. Apparently I forgot. Oh, the iron smelting. Yes, of course. So we're going to get that done. And then we will sign off for today. Done. And there we go. Finally, that thing is gone. So everything we've done has been fully worked out. And now we can say goodbye. I got way too many beacons. Screw it. Let's just open that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So it's a bit over 1,000, but whatever. We'll deal with it. We will deal with it. Next time we take some. So if we take... so wait a sec. So I take half. See, it does take some from the top half. It doesn't respect these boundaries. I would have thought it would take some out of the bottom here. Whatever, I'll just leave it open. It can fill up 1,500 instead. Don't really care. And anyway, we're going to leave that as the end of the episode. And I don't know, maybe I'll go back to my sea base for a while. Start running around with that. Because, yeah, I mean, what are we doing next is kind of like doing the sciences. So this is easy. This is easy as well. We'll probably ship iron and copper directly into that. And this is easy as well. Make engines on site. Make electric mining drills on site. I think we can do all that sort of stuff. I'm still up in the air about shifting iron gears, making a station and then transporting them, but I'm thinking that I'm not going to at the moment. It's something that I can do later on as an improvement to the system. This guy, coal, so we'll have to make sure we build that somewhere near a big patch of coal. Ship everything else in, including the steel, even though it only needs one. Production science. This is where we start to need our lubricant. We'll make those electric engines on site, but everything else I think we should be able to ship in there, although that's like 5 or 6 different ingredients we'll have to ship in. And then this guy. This is where we're going to need to get some interesting stuff, because we're going to need batteries, speed module 1s. Okay, I'm not going to be exporting speed module 1s from this base. That's just absolutely a no-no. Speed module 1s will have their own base. And maybe we'll make speed module 1s on site. My general kind of rule is, no, that's right. We only make stuff on site if we don't need it anywhere else. So, engines are kind of an interesting thing because we do need electric engines, but we make electric engines on site. So, we can just make engines on site as well. I feel like that's okay. But the problem with speed modules is we need them for rocket control units as well. And those are two completely different things. So, if we needed an engine for 2 different bases, I would give engines its own base. But it's not needed for 2 different bases. It's just needed for 2 on-site bases. I got 20k. Oh, that's from when I was filling out green circuits, and I was tracing them all along the assembly machines, and I was actually dropping them in the provider chest, because there's 3 chests there, so I had that set up so that it would pull them back from the chest automatically. So yeah, engines are fine. Speed modules, we need them for 2 different places, so they're going to have their own station just producing speed modules. It's a little bit of a waste, but I guess when we get up to 3k, 4k, it's going to be crazy. And then rocket fuel is going to be the other big thing that we need to start working on, because that is going to be its own base. We're going to have another completely new petroleum base from scratch. Probably can put that there, maybe. That's a decent amount of coal. I mean, we do need a lot of coal for this stuff. So green circuits aren't going to go any further up. They're just going to be squished around here. So I feel like this base... Can we fit a base down here? That's going to be a bit squishy. That's going to overlap. We don't want to overlap with the logistics network. So what I probably have to do is make this rocket fuel right here. I could leave this for plastic and actually have plastic over here, but I don't think we're ever going to run into the situation where coal is a contributing factor. So we'll put rocket fuel here, put a station up there, and that can just long distance mine it up there, and we'll put the machines here to process it or something like that. And we should be able to avoid overlapping those things. And we also needed coal for military science, but that can be a tiny little patch, to be honest. Absolutely tiny. So yeah, so next things we're going to need, screw that, is the few big things we're going to need are going to be rocket fuel, and what was the other thing? There was another thing, stone. We haven't talked about stone, but we're going to need a stone brick station as well. That's going to need to be pretty hefty, I think. What we need stone brick for is production science, I think, is the only thing. Those electric furnaces do take a fair bit of stone, so it's going to need that. And yeah, after that, it's just little miscellaneous stations and the science stations. So we're going to try and leave these guys to last, make everything that's needed for them first. And of course, the rocket control units are going to need to be a big base. Low density structures are going to need to be a big base. But we'll just do it one base at a time. And I mean, we got to base 1.5 eventually. So we're going to get to base 2.0 eventually. We're going to see that rocket science come out. And it's going to be awesome. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys later.